Well, good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Kind of weak. It's a bright, beautiful, sunny day in April, the 40th anniversary of the Black Cultural Center. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Russell.
And hello to all of those that are watching the live stream this morning. And I just wanted to start off by saying there are some regrets for today's session from representatives from the Black North Initiative, but they're going to join us a little bit later in the program virtually on the screens. So the idea of air travel here in Canada sometimes plays havoc in programs. I'd like to begin by acknowledging that we are in Mi'kmaq, the unceded traditional territory of the Mi'kmaq people. We are also privileged and thankful to be holding this event today on the land that is covered by the historic treaties of peace and friendship. I would also like to acknowledge the existence of people of African descent in Nova Scotia for well over 400 years. May we honor and offer gratitude to the ancestors who came before us, to this land, and the commitment to not let this history die. I'm really honored and privileged to be here with you today for this special event. In the late 70s, a group of Black community leaders, led by the late Reverend Dr. William Pearlie Oliver, came together with an idea: to elevate and to share the importance of Black culture and history. The inspiration came from the leaders in those days, realizing that a vital piece of our shared history was being lost. They sought for a way to protect, preserve, and promote Nova Scotia's Black culture and heritage like never before. The Black Cultural Society of Nova Scotia was formed as an act of provincial legislation. This group, which was made up of Black leaders from across Nova Scotia, formed a provincially mandated organization. And the vision of that organization was to open this building, to open the Black Cultural Center. So in 1983, the Black Cultural Center came into existence. When it first opened its doors, it was a unique idea and became Canada's first and largest museum and cultural center dedicated to Black history and culture. Today, some 40 years later, unfortunately, we're still the largest and still the first, and there's no others. And that's a lot to say about where our progression of our history has gone. The center has grown to new heights in being an organization that is internationally known and being able to share and tell the remarkable history of people of African descent. We are so thankful that our founding president, the Honorable Dr. Donald Oliver, Canada's trailblazing Senator of Diversity and Equality, is here to join us today. Thanks. And also in the audience, we have two other founding members that are here with us, Dr. Joyce Ross and Dr. Wayne Adams. 40th anniversaries can be said to be Ruby anniversaries, which is so fitting for the space that we stand in today. The Black Cultural Center for Nova Scotia is a gem of Black history and culture in Canada, starting with the humble beginnings to the important evolution of Black culture and heritage in ways that we never imagined. This past 40 years have been a journey of the important growth and development of a culture that is one of Canada's founding cultures. At this time, I'd like to turn the program over to my good friend, Owen O-Sound Lee, who's going to share his rendition of O Canada and the Black National Anthem, Lift Every Voice.
Please stand.
Glorious and free, oh
check out Owen's website, and your website is?
oldsoundmusic.com.
That's right. And Owen is an award-winning Canadian artist, and always finds time to help us out here at the Black Cultural Center, so do check him out. When I started the day off, I didn't mention who I was. I think that most of you in the room know who I am. But for those that are watching online, my name is Russell Gross, and I'm the Executive Director here at the Black Cultural Center, and a longtime employee. This year is 29 years with the organization, and started off as a summer intern, and this organization changed my life. And I would say that as an organization goes, this organization and people like Senator Oliver, Dr. Ross, Dr. Adams mentored me over the years to make me the leader that I am today in this organization, to help this organization elevate culture like it never has before. At this time, I'd like to turn it over to our board chair, interim board chair, Mr. Mervyn Broom, to bring some remarks.
Thank you, Russell. I'm not as tall as you, Russ. Well, greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and distinguished guests. It is my pleasure as interim chair of the Black Cultural Society, the parent organization of the Black Cultural Center, to welcome you here today for this historic celebration. We could not be more pleased to have present with us retired Senator and community leader, Dr. Donald Oliver, our founding president, as well as representatives from the Black North Initiative, which will be on a little later, and Enbridge. Thank you. This year, the Center will be celebrating 40 years of operations, and we could not be more pleased. Over the past 40 years, the Black Cultural Center has had a front row seat to the evolution of Black culture and heritage in Canada. This was achieved through the many events, programs, and research projects that began at the Center, and the perseverance of a people who wanted to ensure their history was preserved and shared. In 1983, the collection of history and culture in the Black community was obscure, and the leadership of the day, which was led by Senator Donald Oliver, worked to gather and celebrate an important part of our shared history. It is fitting today that we honor Dr. Oliver for his life's work for change and celebrate the 40 years of a center that started with humble beginnings. During this important year, we are pleased to celebrate and honor our Black history like never before in new and exciting ways. Recently, we launched a foundation to aid in major fundraising efforts called the Black Culture and Heritage Foundation of Canada. This year, the Center will host a series of events and programs to support our efforts to expand the facility through a major capital project that will include community youth space, a dedicated theater, and archival storage for our ever-expanding precious museum collection. We count on your support as we move forward for the next 40 years. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that, Merv. At this time, we have a brief video presentation that you can see on the screens and on the monitors here. We're going to take a moment to move one of these monitors around a little bit more so the folks on the stage can see it. And it's a brief overview of our last 40 years in photos and in pictures. So bear with us for a second.
Tonight on CTV News at 5.
The Centre is a great place for having a discussion about who are the African Nova Scotians.
Stories of courage and leadership from a place that preserves and protects the rich history of Nova Scotians of African descent. We're live from the Black Cultural Centre.
And 6 years later, the Government of Canada will offer a formal apology.
For the overt racism of turning Black volunteers away when they offered to sacrifice their lives for all, we are sorry.
So that's a brief summary of some of what we've achieved over 40 years. And I would say that that's a very small sampling. There's been a lot. And we would say that when we look at the center's growth over the 40 years, that a vital part of this was community support. In the early days, these walls were empty. And today, you know, we are looking at a capital campaign to increase our space because we are out of space and we have more stories to tell and more stories to share and not the wall space to do so. And so it's a remarkable legacy that's been started here. And at this time, I'd like to call upon Senator Donald H. Oliver, our good friend, founding president, and the leadership behind the vision that was set back well over 40 years ago to establish this place.
Thank you, Russell, very, very much for the kind introduction. I would like to use the few moments that I have today to say thank you. Thank you in particular to 3 individuals or groups who have made today possible. And I begin with Black North Initiative started by Wes Hall and so ably run by his assistant Dabo. And they have been the organization in Canada that has done more than any other organization to strike back at and break down systemic Black racism within the public and the public and private service. And it's continuing. And they're working with youth, they're working with seniors, they're working to get more people on boards of directors, and they are helping Black people find their rightful place in our Canadian society. And for all that they have done, I say thank you. And in my particular case, they gave an award at a gala for 1,000 people in Toronto that I went to with my wife a short while ago. And it was this and it's called the Lifetime Achievement Award. And with that Lifetime Achievement Award, sponsored by Enron, I did not know at the time, but Enron as well. Enbridge. Yes. I'm sorry, Enbridge agreed to put up $15,000 and for a charity of my choice that met the values of Enbridge and of the Black North Initiative. And so we're here today so I can say thank you to Enbridge for this incredible generosity. And once I was told that I could choose a charity of my choice, I had no difficulty in choosing this center, which stands for what Black people are and have become and can become in the future. And it is 40 years old. It's a celebration worth celebrating. We're getting ready to expand the building and the structure and for more space for a variety of arts and culture, for promotion of Black culture in Nova Scotia. After all, in Nova Scotia, we're the only part of Canada that 400 years of history of Blacks flowing from straight slavery, and that history has never been written, never been researched. For instance, Africville was once a community of almost 800 people, a thriving community. They had their own drugstore, own grocery store, own mail delivery. They were a self-contained community before the city came along with the dump trucks and tore the city down. But there's an awful lot there over 400 years that should be researched and told. And so the more we can do to promote our youth, to come to a center like this, the better it will be for everybody. So I say thank you very, very, very much for this plaque from the Black North Initiative. And thank you for the gift of this plaque and the money from Enbridge. And I thank the Black Cultural Center under Russell for all they are doing. And that's all I wanted to say. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Senator Oliver, for those inspiring words and your reflection on the purpose of why the Black Cultural Center and organizations like the Black North Initiative are so important. And it always works well for organizations that are agents of change and that are making change in communities across Canada to have strong partners in the corporate community. So thank you to Enbridge and Mike Fernandez, who's here with us today and will speak in a few moments, for their leadership and their support. And Enbridge has done an incredible deal in the ranks within their company to embrace diversity and culture change. And we couldn't be more pleased to have them here with us today. And the fact that Mike flew in from out west to join us here today speaks volumes to the importance of the role that they play in diversity. At this time, I'd like to turn it over to one of our strong partners in this, and it's none other than the Black North Initiative, an organization that was founded by Wes Hall. Today, virtually, we have with us their Chief Executive Officer, and it is CEO Dabo Ahmed Omer, and she's going to join us on Zoom, so just give us a few seconds to put that on place, and we'll see it on screen. Okay, you should be good to go.
Okay, you can hear and see me?
Yes, we can.
Yes. Yep.
Okay, I love it. Good morning, everyone. It is a great pleasure to join you virtually to honor our dear Senator Don Oliver. I am so sorry that I can't be there with you. I will tell you that I attempted to get on this plane, who took 2.5 hours to potentially take off, to then deciding I'm going to get deplaned because I got to join virtually. And so I'm happy that at least you can get to see me. I don't see any of you, but I know that there's many amazing, incredible, beautiful people in the room, and so I wish that I could have been there with you today, but I do apologize. And so, but I will say that this is a historic occasion for the Black Cultural Center and a true recognition of Senator Oliver's lifelong dedication to improving the lives of so many Canadians, and particularly those who are in underrepresented communities. And so, as you know, Senator Oliver has been an incredible trailblazer throughout his entire life. He has spent his life breaking down barriers and creating opportunities for all Canadians, and his accomplishments are numerous, and they've helped shape Canada for what it is today, and for individuals like me to be able to be in spaces that I'm in. And so I am so honored to be able to share this space with him today, and his legacy is really a testament, I would say, to his unwavering commitment to social justice and equality, and being a champion for very many communities who are left behind at most times. And so thank you for promoting our rights and making sure that our voices are being heard. And so, I know that his work, has been incredible, right? It extends far beyond the Senate. He's been an incredible vocal advocate for anti-racist initiatives and has worked tirelessly to create awareness and making sure that people are included, that they have a sense of belonging, that, he's been inspiring to many, many of us, and, it's incredible to be able to look into his incredible footsteps and say to ourselves that we're going to follow that and make a difference in the world. And so I first met the Senator a few years ago, and in that one first conversation that we had, I really felt like he listened, like he heard me, like he valued what I was saying, and it meant the world to me to be able to talk to someone of his caliber, of his achievements, and feel as an equal. Right? At times you go into these spaces and you feel very small, but he made me feel powerful. And so thank you, Senator, for being who you are. It allows me to be who I am. It was an honor to be able to have you at the Black North Initiative Gala and to award you the Lifetime Achievement Award. I mean, if we could do it 4 or 5 times in a row, we would have. And to be able to be here today and to be able to also celebrate the 40th anniversary of the Black Cultural Center just speaks volumes to who you are and what you've done for our community, and how it aligns so perfectly with your values and mission in life. And so, congratulations for the 40th anniversary. Congratulations, Senator. Thank you, Russell, and the entire leadership body for the incredible work that you continue to do for the Black Cultural Center. You continue to be a beacon for all of us around the country. And so, I'll tell you that your work is seen and felt across. And I will take the opportunity as well to thank Mike Fernandez and Enbridge for their generous sponsorship of the Lifetime Achievement Award, and for always ensuring that they find ways to recognize those who dedicated their lives to promoting equity. And they've been a great partner of Black North, and continues to be a foundational support system for us here at Black North. And so again, I'm so sorry that I could not join you. Congratulations, Senator. I wish I could be there and hug you. It is well deserved, beyond well deserved. And I hope to see all of you soon in my next visit to Halifax.
Thank you, Dabo, for those wonderful remarks. And it's always great to have partnerships all across our great country to work towards creating more of an inclusive society and awareness of our diverse cultures. And so we're so thankful for the relationship we have with Enbridge, the relationship we have with Black North, and of course, Senator Oliver and his tireless efforts to bring equality to our country. At this time, I'd like to call upon Mike Fernandez of Enbridge to talk a little bit about their commitment to this.
I'm a little taller. Stood a lot of fertilizer when I was young. Thank you, Russell. Thank you, Murr. Russell's getting, he's getting our prop here. But, you know, a lot of people have said, you know, we're here, Enbridge is here, I'm here, because we were a sponsor of Black North and a sponsor of the Lifetime Achievement Award. But let there be no doubt, we are here because of a treasure of a man who we call senator, a man who we call doctor, some may even call him professor, but very much the Honorable Donald H. Oliver. You know, within Enbridge, and we're an energy company, we're predominantly known for pipelines, but we're also really focused on the future. And we have three words that we say to ourselves. It appears in some advertising, but it's really about sort of who we are. And it's tomorrow is on. And tomorrow is on in one sense is an expression of what we're doing in order to invest in new technology, in order to invest in renewables, in order to bridge to a cleaner energy future. But it's also about how we all show up and how we think about the future. And in some sense, Enbridge in many ways has taken a page from Dr. Oliver's work on creating a business case for diversity. Let me share a bit of what I mean. In 2020, in the aftermath of George Floyd's murder in Minnesota, Enbridge became the largest Canadian company to sign the Black North Initiative Pledge to end anti-Black systemic racism and commit to B&I's 7 distinct goals. On this, we worked with the Habo and West Hall and others, but pledges in and of themselves are not enough. In fact, Dr. Oliver's book underscores this many times, talking about the fact that accountability and transparency matter. So let me tell you what we did. In addition to signing the pledge, we set some goals of our own. And we took the extraordinary step of making those goals public. And putting our money where our mouth is, we linked annual progress on those goals to pay for all employees. We also required training of all employees and contractors on systemic racism, unconscious bias, and indigenous cultural awareness. We also committed to diverse slates of candidates for all job openings. Today, diversity, equity, and inclusion, as Donald Oliver has taught us, is not just about being right, moral. It's also very, very good business. Today at Enbridge, 2 of our 4 business unit presidents are women. Leaders of key corporate functions are Black, Chinese, Indian, and Latino. Our board is among the most diverse in corporate Canada, and the new chair of Enbridge's board of directors is one Pamela Carter. Pamela is a retired business executive, a former attorney general in the state of Indiana, and a Black woman. The diversity of thought exemplified by these leaders is consistent with Dr. Oliver's research. That is to say, diversity and inclusion make us a stronger and better company. Yes, indeed, tomorrow is on. All that said, I was extremely humbled, honored, moved when Dr. Oliver asked me to take part in today's event. In his book, which I have here, A Matter of Equality, Don Oliver writes of being invited to the White House, which is interesting to me. I used to work in the U.S. Senate. I also knew the person he was going to go meet in 2009, President Obama, but I first met President Obama when he was my senator in the state of Illinois at the time. But anyway, he writes of going to meet him, and he says that he felt so lucky, so fortunate, and so blessed. Dr. Oliver, I feel all of those things today in your presence. You see, part of this is professional, but a big part of this is also personal. I don't share this story often, but I will today, and that is that my Latino father has very, very dark skin and black kinky hair. And my mother has blonde hair, blue eyes, Anglo. When they were married in the 1950s in the United States, almost half of the states would not recognize their marriage. And yet, through slights, through racism, through complications, they were able to raise a family and see their son become the youngest press secretary in the US Senate and the very first Latino to serve as a chief communications officer for a Fortune 500 company. Those kinds of things don't happen without people like Donald Oliver in the background and then forward, pushing and making change. So thank you. For me, you are a hero, and your life's work speaks to my very soul and being. So I am here professionally, yes, and personally, absolutely. Because of your life's work, tomorrow is truly on across Canada and beyond. You have been a trailblazer for civil rights and diversity for more than 60 years. As a lawyer, as an entrepreneur, as a teacher, and as a senator, you exemplified the best in all of us. You awakened our collective consciousness, and then you proceeded to do something about it. During your legal career in the pursuit of justice, you shined a light on bias and discrimination. Early in your government career, you advanced the need for hard statistics and data to better understand systemic racism, and ultimately to use it to advance the hiring of more blacks and diverse talent in government. Working with the Conference Board of Canada, your landmark research on employment equity became a model, and not only for Canada, but for the world, and truly helped to make the business case for diversity. You also have given so much to the community, your native Nova Scotia, and have served as an incredible advisor, mentor, and champion to many in the Black community across the country. For all those reasons and many more, I am honored to be here with you today amongst friends, family, other founders, and I believe we have a little check to present. Hope you up here.
Think you'll be able to put that in his pocket?
There you go.
On behalf of the board and staff of the Black Cultural Center, we couldn't be more pleased to receive this gift of $15,000 in honor of our great friend, Senator Donald Oliver, and founding president, and know that it will be put to good use as we celebrate our 40th anniversary. Stay tuned to our website and to our social media platforms as we have a slate of events that are going to be announced in the coming weeks to celebrate our 40th anniversary, as well as our capital campaign. We have a desire to expand this facility to further meet the needs of community and to continue on for the next 40 years. So again, thank you very much for this very special day, a great way to celebrate and kick off our our 40th year of operations. And I'd ask Dr. Ross, who is here, Reverend Dr. Joyce Ross, to maybe say a closing prayer to bless our reception food.
Well, good afternoon to all of you. It's such a pleasure and an honor to be here for this celebration this afternoon. I can remember Honorable Senator Oliver, in the beginning, it was rough. It was rough. We had many meetings and we thought we just wasn't going to make it. But perseverance pays off. So we're so excited that we're here and we're moving forward. And we're moving forward in the name of Jesus. Because if God had not been with us at the beginning, we would not have got this far. When you try to do it on your own, you can't. But when God is in your life, number one, and you build your foundation on Him, your foundation lasts. And so we're so grateful for that this morning. So I was asked to bless the food this morning, so I'm going to say, let us pause to be thankful to God for all that He has given us. When we think of so many who do not have this morning and can't even afford to buy the food this morning, we are grateful to have refreshments today. So as we celebrate and as we fellowship, we thank God for the nourishments that He has so greatly provided for to feed our bodies and give us energy and strength for this day. This is the day that the Lord has made, and let us rejoice and be glad in it and be thankful for every good gift that comes from above. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Thank you very much for that, Dr. Ross. And today's event reminds me of an African proverb that says it takes a village to raise a child. It takes a village to raise an organization. And this organization is living proof that working collaboratively with our partners from across Canada and stakeholders and trailblazers like Senator Oliver, change can happen. And we look forward to the next 40 years of growth and 40 years of celebrating an important part of our shared history. So again, thank you very much for joining us. This concludes the program, and there is some refreshments in the back, so feel free to mingle and enjoy some refreshments. Once again, thank you. Thank you.